So, I would like to invite the panelist, Mr. Vijay Sethi, Chairman, Mentorkart and Crafsol. Mr. Golak Kumar Simli, former Principal Consultant and CTO, Passport Seva and E-Passport, MEA, Government of India. Mr. Golak, please come to the stage. Mr. Ashis Rout, Senior Vice President IT, Ex-HDFC Bank. Mr. Golak is here. Mr. Bharat B. Anand, Group CIO and CTO, Contec Global. Mr. Anil Nama, CIO, Cloud4C. Mr. Sandeep Sengupta, Founder and Director, ISOAH, Data Securities. People, they say that every time CIOs, CTOs are ready for any kind of questions, any kind of disaster. Who want to take the position? Can someone raise the hand to discuss and share their knowledge on AI and the future of work? Chair is yours. Can anyone raise the hand? CIOs, the AI and future of work. Okay, please come. So, how we have designed the panel is, we have discussed 5 key topics. Let's see how CIOs they talk about it. My first question, so if you'll take 1 minute or few sentences to introduce yourself, can I start with Sandeep? If you can introduce yourself first.
Good afternoon to all of you. I'm Sandeep. I'm from Indian School of Anti-Hacking, which is a certain empaneled audit firm. So I've been an ethical hacker for last 27 years. Thank you.
Thank you. Ashis.
Hello. I'm Ashis Rout. I was for 25 years with HDFC Bank. Now currently after superannuation, I've joined AI ML based platform Data Safeguard as their Chief of Global Delivery Officer. So that's how I'm here.
Thank you. Bharat.
Hi, good afternoon everybody, and thanks Deepak for having us, and good afternoon to the fellow panelists. I am Bharat. The title is over there and the company name is too.
Bharat,
so
can you speak a little louder?
Yeah. Maybe almost 29, 30 years now in the industry, working with the stalwarts like Vijay, Sethi sir and all. So we are learning still, and a lot more to learn from all of you. So let's see how it goes from here. Thank you.
Thank you, Bharat. And good afternoon, everyone. My name is Vijay Sethi. Currently, I'm the chairman of Mentorkart and also chairman of Crafsol Technologies. I'm also on board of few companies, including some on AI and quantum computing. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. I am Anil Nama. I am the CIO for CtrlS Data Centers and Cloud4C India. I've been in the industry now for roughly 35 years.
Mike, you can take mic.
So I've been in the industry now for 30 plus years, and thank you for calling us over to discussion.
Nrsimha Charan Mahapatra, a distinguished scientist. Started my career on the 5th of January 1995. The money I was getting was 1750 rupees plus 500 rupees convention in software company to sell antivirus software Nashot. Right now, per second I am earning that much. 19 companies owner, 170 country presence, making robots, process automation. I am the superstar of it. Nobody can beat me.
Welcome. To start with, so we have the first question like how AI directly transforming job roles and boosting productivity within your organization. Can you start with Mr. Anil Nama?
Well, artificial intelligence or intelligence itself is the whole basis of information technology. During all the years, we have seen EDP centers, we have seen data entry centers, then became ERP centers. Now we are talking about AI. So what is happening? The data which we produce in our normal course of business activities during all the period which has passed is getting registered properly in a system. So the time has come to move from data visibility as to what is happening out there into having insights and maybe taking actions within those insights. So the AI is moving this path. When artificial intelligence, we use it in a reporting mode. It can give us insight in a curves to tell us what is going to happen in future, maybe predict to some place. When we put tolerances to that, saying that, okay, fine, if a machine gives vibration beyond this threshold, please raise an alarm. It has always happened in our OSs, in our storages, in our networks. We are just bringing it into the LOB, line of business, where we are collating that data, putting it the thresholds, and they are raising alerts. Now, as we move ahead, these alerts itself will lead to remediation, also known as automation of the actions. And that is where, how do you predict, how do you remediate, and how does this sync work together so that either the duration of outage is less, or using predictive modeling, you can overcome the outages itself with your business processes. So that is where I feel the whole AI is moving. Yes, underlying platforms are changing from CPU, DPU, GPU, you may talk about different technologies, but end of the day, it's finally a hardware, a network, a piece of software that is ingesting data in real time or near real time and trying to provide business the help that they require to be less disrupted and better quality in performance.
Over to Mr. Vijay. You want to add something?
I think a couple of things that we need to, beyond what Anil spoke about. One, all of us need to be very, very sure that AI is not a fad. It is here to stay. It's not just in the POC and pilot stage. Companies are actually using AI in the production systems. And there are a lot of job roles which are today getting changed within the organization. There are a lot of areas where AI is currently being used. For example, if you look at junior roles, so AI, not just AI, but AI with a combination of an RPA and optical vision and those kind of things is being used across manufacturing organizations to look at various kinds of quality parameters, ensuring that the data entry is being done at the gates, data entry is being done by the sales people, by the accounts people. So there's a huge amount of work. The second piece is even the content generation. So earlier we thought that content generation was being done by, just being attempted by some of the people by using ChatGPT or some other tools. But today, there are formal people who are just doing content generation just based on AI, so that's being done. So that's at the lower end, and there are many other job roles at the lower end which are being taken by AI. But if you move forward one step above, one of the points which Anil also spoke about, which is the predictive, I think the quality departments, the maintenance departments across organizations are using predictive maintenance and various other areas of prediction, even predictive sales, and using AI-based tools for that in a big way. It's also being used by senior managers in ensuring that the quality of decisions that they are making, that's good. And the last piece I'll say is that one of the things which AI is really leading to many organizations, which in some organizations is a major bottleneck also, which is creating a culture of a data-driven decision making. So that's what is happening, and roles are getting changed. We should not think that AI is just here like so many other things that have come over the last 10 years. We have seen many things coming and then just evaporating. We never know that they came. But AI is here and it will continue to stay and continue to change the job roles in each organization.
Thank you. Over to Bharat.
I think a lot has been already covered about it, what has been just said, but probably I'll just share a funny anecdote about AI, that it started with initial days as always incorrect. And then it became algorithmic imitation, and now augmented intelligence and artificial intelligence and all. The whole endeavor for us as the leadership or for the leaders in the organization is to look at how AI is being a disruptor. I think there have been reams and reams of papers and, or for that matter, a lot of conferences on that. It has happened. Probably if we'll pick up any forum, it talks about that AI is causing disruption. The same thing is being said at this panel. But maybe important is what we are doing about it and how we are going to handle this disruption. As per World Economic Forum, they talk about that almost 44% of the jobs will be impacted in the next 3 years. The NASSCOM says that we will be having a lot of disruption in our blue collar and white collar jobs about it. I mean, if we look at, and if I look at in my organization itself, the way the and I'm not going into other department, I'm just saying in the IT where most of us belong to and have the people doing the coding and all that, the co-pilots, the cursor AIs and all that have changed the dynamics as well as the time to market about generating the applications to be rolled it out about. It's a very small change, but it is a very large change in the overall aspect because dependency on humans to create the basic codes and all that have come and has changed a lot more with the degree of variation, if I put it out around that. Hence, we all talk about disruption, we all talk about all of this, but I think there is a silver lining. It doesn't mean that all those 40% of the jobs will be gone. Actually, it is expected that 97 million jobs, new jobs will be created. So important is not the impact, important is what we are doing, which I started with. And probably it is all about upskilling or reskilling yourself, learning the new parts of it. I am sure Deepak would be talking about as part of another query or talk about that, and as we go along within the panel discussion. But I think that is the essence. And that is the push we need to put it, even at the level where we all are, we also need to pick up those skills, because when we talk to the next Gen or Gen Z or Z++, I don't know what else is called as Gen G, I don't know. But when you talk to them, you need to learn in that language to talk to them, because they are coming with all those bundled into them about in current world. So probably that's the change which we are bringing. Yeah.
So we have today we have the session to address these issues. You will have a lot of, I will say, key takeaway, how you have to see that. People, they talk about AI, Gen AI, LLM, how far safe it is. Yesterday, Sam Altman said, don't trust on the AI.
Absolutely. I believe this is a question for me as a follow-on.
No, it is not a question. It is not a question.
Okay.
I'm just adding to your things. Our NC, you want to add something?
Everybody's job is at risk. Everybody's job. Be it a doctor, a hairstylist, a mason, anybody can lose his job because the automation is taking such a shape that nobody can save his job. 3,000 people doing a coding for the front end, back end, DB, and a mobile app. Only one AI functionality on the command prompt can do that within 15 minutes. And not a single flaw you will find in that. You will have the option to choose the front end, back end, DB, and the language to code, maybe a hybrid one, Flutter or something like that, or Ionic, whatever. Or it will automatically decide and give it to you. The output is going to be very simple, flawless, robust, highly scalable, interoperable. Then where is the jobs? A doctor's surgery can be performed in a precision way by a robot, remotely. And everybody's job is going to be at risk. Once you wait for another decade, you'll find all these things. We all have seen Terminator, then Robocops, they already visualize the future because they are the guys who have instigated us to take all these things into that next level. The next level of computing, the computation power is increasing day by day, and it is going to create a lot of havoc. I tried to help the people of Rajasthan and Odisha by going there for 20 days, met with all the top level guys, including the CMs. But there is no interest of those guys to let me help those people for free. Then also I came back and it's a bit of sadness.
Yeah, you're right, and see, so we'll move on to the next question. Like, what emerging skills and roles are you seeing as AI and cloud reshape business functions? I'll start with Mr. Vijay Sethi.
Yeah, I think one of the key things that we would have seen across is prompt engineering. Now people have even come up with engineering degree on prompt engineering and those kind of things, whereas few years back it used to be a mechanical, civil and IT and those kind of things. So prompt engineering skills are coming up in a big way. The second, I'll just put 3 or 4. One area, if you look from AI perspective, which will ensure that AI succeeds, is AI ethics. And there are people who are now getting into skills for AI ethics and AI governance in a big way. So that's one. The second is, if you look from models perspective, there's a major issue that AI models could come up with model poisoning and those kind of things. So that's where people are now getting into very specific skills on how do you ensure that your models are explainable, transparent, and also that they are secure enough to ensure that there's no data poisoning over. That's one. Another thing which is coming up from AI perspective is all of us last 15 years cloud has been there and people have been talking of cloud architecture, but cloud AI architecture is another thing which is coming up in a big way, and people are looking at skills on how do you ensure that the AI runs very well on those clouds, or you do an edge computing and those kind of things from AI perspective. So there are very many new skills which are coming up which maybe till last year they never existed, and that's what people are now working on. Deepak?
Yeah, you're right. Over to Anil. You want to add something?
I mean, Vijayji has already spoken about the new skills, but I would rather speak about a transformation. So let's talk about a simple case. We are data center, just like this building. You will have cooling person, which is mechanical guy. You will have an electrical guy, and you would have certain sort of electronics in and around this, like systems and all. A very simple AI skill to acquire is to first believe the machine. Historically, the mechanical, the electrical guys never believed the machine output. They always went in to check on their own. For example, if temperature is becoming hot, you will find one of the guys appearing in the room and then retaking it through his another system and then believing. This is a huge culture gap, that how do you make people believe in the data. The SOPs have not changed. I mean, you will increase the amount of cooling or you may change the circuit, but that whole belief system to put in, given that the last culture is 40, 50 years old, especially in these disciplines which affect us day on day. That is the particular skill, you can say, maybe in terms of context or maybe in terms of quality or L&D. But how do you transform a person who has worked 30 years not believing his machine output to just seeing a screen and acting on it? That's the one thing that is a huge challenge to us. The second challenge to us is the way the traditional data was handled. The traditional way of data was handling was dump everything in one place, then you run some ETL query and all and create the MIS for the management. Now we are talking this data to be available to everybody. So it can't happen that you will have data massaging or you will have an expert team for all 10,000 people who are there in the organization, which means the extract transform load has to change into some other queue. But the data is that much noisy only. So data quality has not changed. So there is a noise in the data that we are getting. Somehow we have to remove that noise. Somehow we have to show it at each of these screens so that the people on the other side believe that this is noiseless data. And this is a great discipline. You may call it as insight, you may call it as big data, you may call it as data handling capabilities, ETL, I mean there are hundreds of names around it. But these are the two key areas as we go in our business that are changing and that really require a new set of skills, new set of people, new set of thoughts to overcome and adopt what the AI is bringing on the tech.
Wonderful. So, you I think CtrlS must be having the AI ready data center. Okay. Future you have to have a quantum computing ready data center also. So, we have a guest from the quantum computing from US. So, they are setting up the huge quantum lab in India. I think you could have a good sync here. So, moving forward, how do you manage the security risk associated with AI driven automation? This question I will go for the Sandeep, is the security expert.
So coming to the security, you have asked a question to the hacker, good hacker though.
Ethical hacker.
Ethical hacker.
Okay. Okay.
But point is, I work with different, even with the law enforcement, with the overground and underground hackers. And my main bread and butter is to protect the companies. Big companies from like 90,000 crore to even very small startups. The trouble is, you have heard about ChatGPT, Copilot. Have you heard about Worm GPT? Have you heard about Fraud GPT? Right? These are the names you have not heard. There's a crazy world which is going on over there which you are completely ignorant of. Now coming to whom to protect. Are we protecting only the infrastructure? Because when we go to a company, they only say protect the infrastructure. What about the people? Now coming to people, what about the company owners who are the most reckless? Sorry, I don't know whether the company owners are there, but some millions and billions in your pocket and you go completely reckless. I mean, you really care about protecting the company, but what about your personal security, your personal laptop, your gadgets? And they can be easily hacked, right? And they are traveling around completely unprotected and they don't care. So are we protecting these people, the very junior people, the third-party workers? I think companies are completely exposed. And you know, the motto of the IT people is God is great. Because if on every morning when you wake up and see no incident has happened, or if it has happened but you don't know and the company owner doesn't know, then God is great. So this is the scenario which is happening at this moment. And coming to the AI, I think this, most of the people, 80% of the people are just playing with AI, not using it properly. We are just playing with AI. It's for fun, for game, like we played with our mouse, something like that. Now coming to actual utilization of AI, as sir has rightly said, prompt engineering should be part of the school curriculum. It should be taught right from the kids. And if you are good in prompt engineering, then you automate the work. AI should not be our teacher, because AI confidently say wrong things. Confidently, I'm telling you. And if we start making them our teacher, then we are doomed. And finally, I'll give you a very strange, I mean, we always look to the future, much, much future. Sophia came to India and some gentleman asked Sophia, have you learned humor? Can you tell us a joke? And Sophia said, sir, you are handsome. If tomorrow AI learns from humor to greed, because it is data, they are learning from our data, and human data has more violence than anything else. So the moment the AI learns violence and greed, then it is the end of us. Nobody can save us. So this is just a context. If I start talking about, because I go to workshops, I talk to the owners of the companies, and it's a shocking effect after 1 hour of lecture that what damage can be done through AI and how much unprotected and unprepared every company is against this coming threat.
You are absolutely right that the technology has to come out with a 3T factor: technology, trust and truth. So over to Ashis. So you want to add where Sandeep has said contesting the question, please.
No, Sandeep, hello, thanks.
Yeah, it is okay.
Dr.
It's okay.
Sahu, having me here today. When you explained about narrating the story giving a question and getting an answer which is unrelated. It just reminded me my school days, a guy who went prepared for writing about something else like a football ground. He was prepared to write a story about football ground. But the question came that narrate a cow. So he started, cow eats grass and grass is green. It happens in football field. And he started narrating that. That's exactly the way we use it. That's exactly how our prompts are coming down. And that's how it goes in that way. Why we say artificial intelligence should master us, or after all, I believe personally, human intelligence is better than, because we only created artificial intelligence. Human intelligence is better than artificial. And why it should be used? Because of the scale it can do, with precision it can do, with this volume and at a centralized. I come from a BFSI background, and I see the earlier 30 years back it was a branch banking. If the data is lost, probably few thousands of customers are this one. Now after centralization and the data coming to the central core banking system, infrastructure is hacked or anything. The main thing, the data. Data is nothing but the public money. And if it goes, server is down for some time, it's a hue and cry. Everybody loses that, and that is how most this one comes to BFSI segment, where AI plays a big role. Let it be security, cyber security. Yes, it comes a big role, because earlier what was happening, that every day morning or maybe night, some threat comes that, okay, there are some zero-day attack. Come, run, go to the data center, do this. Now what at least we are using or started using it, to have an AI model with the data from the industry, also from our own data lake, to have a predictive analysis, saying that this attack is likely to hit you and take precautionary measures. That there where practically AI plays a good role, and we use such things and we test it, put the models, and it goes on. And today morning I was hearing about the quantum. Yeah, that is going to come in the next this one. And now when I go for the security, post cyber security, your DPDP
You can take the mic closer.
Yeah, post cyber security, DPDP Act has put 4 seconds. Not only you have to secure your data from everybody, you have to redact and for everybody. You cannot have a data that only few people can see it. No, nobody. It's kind of a zero trust. So data, DPDP Act has forced, although the rule hasn't come yet, that's what Dr. Mali says. But thing is that even if it doesn't come, or if it comes in the next 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years, someday when it comes, it will hit everybody like anything, like crazy it will hit. So, and some are fence-sitter, some are started the journey. Some have started the journey of redacting the data, serving the data very precisely, like call center. Now you must be, all of you, that is a practical example.
Yes.
So all of you will be getting a call from call center, take this loan. Where do they get the data? The data are stolen and sold to everybody in the market. And you get mad getting, you have 4 houses, still you get a call for a home loan. There where AI plays a role, there where DPDP rules plays a role. If you are not wishing to get a call, you will not. So,
You are absolutely right, Mr. Ashis. So you told absolutely rightly, like NPA, natural process algorithm, is better than LLM. So to complement your last effort, like earlier you are a HDFC bank, right?
Yeah.
Earlier when you open account, HDFC bank was the owner of the data. After this DPDP, HDFC will no longer be the owner of the data. The consumer, who's the account holder, he will be the owner of the data. He will say, data subject request, all these things will follow. Anyway, we will move to the next question. What effective strategies do you use to integrate AI into existing workflow at scale? I will start with, again, Ashis, please.
Yeah, can you please repeat that again? I will give
What effective strategies do you use to integrate AI into existing workflows at scale?
Yeah, workflows at scale, like when you use the AI to what I've seen in the banking industry, we go on applying, writing the LLM, writing the NLP to get the data and everybody think. But what I have seen that 70% of the project goes to a toss. It doesn't give the right precision-based, accurate solutions or prediction. So even if you live with the balance 30%, and we use that's how we go for the data, saving the data, and because after all it becomes, HDFC was not the, never was subject to any data owner. They are the, they are only the keeping the data with them. Now with the DPDP Act, they cannot produce those data to anybody. That's the only difference it comes.
Yes.
The law will enforce you not to produce to anybody, everybody, or to be stolen by anybody.
Wonderful. Sandeep, you want to add something?
There is a very nice framework, ISO 42001, which ideally should be enforced in your company, number one, and the biggest hit will come from the third-party risk vendors. Because what vendors are doing, that you have no clue. So if the vendor has done a mess over there, it will directly hit the company. So I believe all of you should go for ISO 42001 and ask the vendor also to get certified. And this AI should be explainable, auditable, and has a forensic trail. If these three are there, then you will be ready for an incident, or at least you can recover fast. Otherwise, it will be a big trouble for you.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So next,
I'll just add one point.
okay.
What Sandeep said, yes, correctly, my ex-bank was doing that. Even if we are not fully, we have started the journey, we had started the journey for DPDP compliance, but we have started also to all the top vendors, be it anything, all top companies are with HDFC, all top vendors to get compliant and give us the certificate that back to back, they also, because they process our data, they at times access our data, so they must also be compliant to DPDP. That's what all the organizations should also do that.
Yes, you are right. Bharat, you want to add something? Yep.
I think to both the points, the security and how it is strategies are being adopted. Probably from a security perspective, like what Sandeep said, maybe further taking it, irrespective whether it's AI or non-AI or traditional, what we talk about, we still have to have our whole strategies built around defense in depth and security in layers concept. Because the touch points, the devices, the integrations, the interconnects, and all of that have created a huge threat surface. And for that matter, these are required to be taken care of and put them across with lot of awareness and training to be carried out. Because it's just not about, as I always say, security is not IT's prerogative. It's everybody's problem.
You're right.
We carry phone, my mother is also equally at risk because she might use something, and deepfake is happening now, right? People can create your voice and send a message, send this much money, mom, immediately it's required. I'm just giving an example. So that's where the importance of security from a perspective of AI or non-AI traditional technologies, we should talk about it. In addition to when we talk about technology, already the DPDP or GDPR or California Act, whatever, but data privacy is going to be the important factor. It has already started actually.
Yes, you are right.
And people are not just talking about it, they are started doing something, because the moment it becomes, it will be a, I think one of the largest skill will be DPDP, this thing, the job, lot of jobs that will come up.
We are waiting for the floodgate to open.
Exactly.
Yes.
On the strategies, we can talk till cows come home on security part, I'm sure. But on the strategies, what we have used in our fintech about it is let's adopt which is high impact but low risk to start with. And as part of that, also put up a strategy which is called MMA, that is monitor, measure, and adjust. Because if you use that, then you will continue keep on aligning, and which I earlier said in a very humorous manner, saying always incorrect, it will become artificial intelligence and not just being algorithms put together. So these are the two fundamental things around. Yeah.
Sir, you want to add, Mr. Vijay?
So coming back to your actual question, original question, that I think it was about scalability and how will you scale. That's what you spoke about.
Yeah.
Let me give 3 simple fundas as to how you can scale up. First, which is very counterintuitive, to scale up you have to start small. You cannot really say that I'll change the entire thing at one go. So start small, learn from it, and then scale up. That's one. The second is, if you have to scale up, one of the biggest issues comes is your data. So while you are scaling up at the small stage, ensure that your data is correct. Otherwise, if you scale up, the entire thing will fall flat. And the third, if you have to really scale up usage of AI in the company, the biggest issue would come in the culture of the organization. So please focus on skilling, reskilling, upskilling your people, making them into a data-driven culture, decision-making culture, and that they start trusting data. So these are 3 things if you really want to scale up.
Wonderful. So we have heard panelist perspective related to the topic. If I could summarize the thing, when you talk about AI and the future of work, how you will address in one sentence, not 2 sentences. Can I start with NC?
We are at risk.
AI brings benefits.
Wonderful.
AI is here to stay, and if we don't do anything, we'll be way back.
Bharat.
Opportunity, not a threat. It's an opportunity, not a threat.
Okay. Ashis.
Continuously upskill, learn, and be there in the market.
Sandeep.
AI will not replace humans, but AI will replace the lazy humans.
Wow, what a thing. So now it is an open question for one or 2 questions. Anyone raise a question, please? Please give the mic to the gentleman. Please, can you stand up? Yeah, please. One short question.
Okay, I will just.
Yes.
Gentlemen, what do you believe? How do you regulate AI in your workforce?
Who will take the question? A very short answer.
Yeah, short. Measure, monitor, manage.
Ask Vijay ji.
I'll just start with that. To monitor, you first need to put in your AI policy, guidelines, draft, put in compliance framework, then put somebody as in charge of that, the so-called human in the loop. Only then you can do it, and then you get into measure and other part. But if the basics are not there, you can never go on it.
So, are you having your own chat GPT within your organization that is regulated? So I am from E and Y, Ernst & Young. We have our own EYQ. So do you have your own EY? So, okay.
So is it a question, do we have, so that we tell you the name, or is it that you
no,
want to
so
just
do you, when I say do you have is basically when you are saying you want to regulate. So my question was, how do you regulate the usage of AI in your organization for your workforce? Because if you want to use AI, you cannot certainly give them access to chat GPT within your organization, right? So behind your firewalls, would you give access to ChatGPT within your organization? So, do you have it? If you have it, what kind of AI it is?
So I think it's better to put it this way, that you have your governance framework put in place. And each organization has its own threat vectors, threat surface, and threat models to put together. ENY does not allow, maybe go and talk to your CISO and say some organizations are allowing, why you don't allow that. But saying how do you handle internally, maybe we can discuss offline rather, because these strategies are something individualistic to each organization and you can't discuss in open forum what we do to handle that. But yes, we do allow, because I'll put it this way, you can't hide. You know, you cannot hold and hide behind something for a long time. Firewalls, we have IPS ideas, you name devices, they are there to make you safer, but not to impact the business.
But if you are generating,
now we have time is over.
So
No more question. We can take offline. Okay. Thank you,
Thank you,
gentlemen.
thank you very
Thank you,
much.
panelists, for the wonderful sharing the thoughts. Can you have a group photograph, please? Please.
Indeed, what a power-packed panel discussion session it was. Thanks to all the panelists